Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to MFW Bulletproof. It is our first pay-per-view since Flashpoint. That means titles will be on the line, big matches on the card tonight, some rivalries coming to heads here in the wrestling renaissance that is Florence, Italy. Hoping to rebirth our multiverse yet again with one of these big shows. Thank you once again for joining me. I am Roman Empire, your host, MC, commentator extraordinaire. And as I grow with this promotion and get better and better, I hope that more and more of you are joining me, enjoying the performances of these superstars that they put on in that ring. And without further ado, let's kick off with a singles title match that's been building for a couple of episodes of Fight Night and has really started to gain some real heat. These two men had a little war of words recently, and now we're finally going to see them in the ring one-on-one. The first man making his way to the ring, you've seen him before. This telltale red smoke of the Devil of Hell's Kitchen, Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil, looking to capture his first championship ever, going after the Vigilante Championship in one-on-one competition. This promises to be a hell of a match, pun not intended but thoroughly embraced. As we've seen, the champion has been undefeated since debuting after Flashpoint. This Flashpoint remade our multiverse and birthed this unknown entity, this stranger, who captured the Vigilante Championship in his first match ever. Debuted, took on Spider-Man, and pulled out a big win and has held that championship since. Now defending it for the first time against what could be his biggest competition thus far. He's taken on quite a few names in the division, always successfully, but now these two men who have built a great deal of momentum towards this match finally come to blows, and only one can win. Vanguard, the man who we have no other name for. We don't know what universe, multiverse he's from, but he is unique to our multiverse at the very least here at MFW. Thank you once again for joining me. Bulletproof, so proud to present the second pay-per-view of our fairly new existence. Sorry, I was caught off guard there for a moment. Somebody in our graphics truck might need to work. They're just as new at this as I am, so you're bound to get a few hiccups here and there. This is just one of the matches on this first half of Bulletproof that we will be witnessing together. Later we'll have a Multimedia Championship match. Spider-Man Miles Morales defending for the first time. He's been on quite a losing streak, a very different parallel to the Vigilante Champion. Vanguard has been trying to turn that ship around, but has been unable to do so. Turn the ship. I keep doing that. I terribly apologize. It's like a tick. But it's not. I'm just losing my mind. But as we bring things back on track here, the Vigilante Championship, as you just saw, on the line. Daredevil versus Vanguard. I'm very excited for this match. I think it has a lot of potential. Now let's see how Matt Murdock, Devil of Hell's Kitchen, as we said, fares in this encounter with this unknown factor. Vanguard obviously has not come into direct conflict with most of the roster, if not all of them, even up until this point. However, none of the roster know anything about him, so it's an equally disadvantageous situation, at least it would appear to be. Thus far, though, it seems the unknown factor being himself. Perhaps there's less to research on the champ, and he's used that to his advantage, being victorious in all of his outings since gaining that title in his debut match. Daredevil, on the other hand, successful despite it. Has met many of his opponents many times before and still has come out on top. So this is a true battle of two irresistible forces on a collision course. And there's the bell. We kick things off big. If you're going to have a second pay-per-view, the title match of this quality, definitely the way to start things off, as these two trade encounters. Starting off in that feeling out phase, we're seeing a lot of trying to out wrestle one another, trying to technical prowess being put on display. Vanguard taking advantage, wrestling it away quite literally from Daredevil, but Daredevil pressing the strength advantage towards the champ. Got to imagine, though, it's not a very large strength advantage difference between the two. Similar weight classes. Head slammed back with force there as we just... Oh, kick to the top of the skull. And a drop kick. I have to say the acrobatics definitely favors Daredevil. As we see the suplex here, he definitely has the more dexterous and acrobatic moveset as he tosses Vanguard over the top rope here, versus Vanguard, who's definitely more of a striker, as we've seen, more grounded offense. We've seen some aerial moves from him, but for the most part tends to stick to a striking based offense. Daredevil obviously very martially capable, as the head is slammed into the steps here, but you have to think he's going to use that high flying nature as his big advantage over the champion. Oh, at a 6 count already as Daredevil is thrown into the steps. Wisely getting in before to break up the count. Oh, both missing blows there, just trying to catch each other. Oh, twisting DDT. Now going up top is Daredevil. Could see a big aerial maneuver like we just mentioned. Big forearm across the face. Going in for the pin. 1, 2, only a 2 count, but the champ in trouble so far. Thus far, it looks like Daredevil has been pretty dominant in the early goings of this match. Perhaps surprisingly so. I think most people were expecting more from the champion. However, now it looks like he's starting to get his bearings. Leg drop bulldog. Backing up into the corner here. We've seen this maneuver before. Calling for the end. Bicycle knee. No, he's dodged. Brushed aside by Daredevil, avoiding that blow. Everything... Oh! Facebuster that Vanguard has put out. Almost all of it, it seems like Daredevil has an answer for. But now, trying a second time to nail that bicycle knee kick. This time nails it. Fresh off that facebuster. 1, 2, only a 2 count. Both men have kicked out of a big move from their opponent already. And now looks like setting up for the vantage point. Just waiting to launch his attack. Nails it! This should be it. Referee in position. 1, 2, only a 2 count. Murdoch kicks out. And Vanguard looks fired up. Suddenly, the entire momentum of the match is shifted in favor of the champion. Was struggling in the early goings. Murdoch seemed to have taken full advantage. But ever since hitting that bicycle knee, things have changed. Missile dropkick here from the champ as he turns things around in his favor. And now a swinging dropkick using the ropes. Add a little bit of momentum to that blow. Into the quick pin. Ooh, 2.5, maybe even a little more. That was a close one. Closer probably than Daredevil would have liked. Now into the side headlock is the champ. Already, this proving to be quite a competitive match between these two. Oh, quick handspring, and Daredevil suddenly right back in this. Oh, out of nowhere, a second vantage point, and he's busted open Daredevil into the pin. 1, 2. No, nearly a 3 count. 2.5, maybe 2.9. Daredevil so close to defeat in that moment. Out of nowhere, the vantage point, nailing Murdoch, busting him open, but not enough to put the Devil of Hell's Kitchen away. Now suddenly, with this burst of adrenaline, Murdoch working over the champion. The single-leg camel clutch, and oh, bicycle knee to the face yet again. That quickness with which the champ can strike, so dangerous. We saw it with the finish, but now, oh, elbow drop to the lower spine. We see it with the bicycle knees as well, just the ability to quickly attack out of nowhere, and we've seen this before, that triangle armbar choking out. Daredevil so close to the ropes, but unable to seemingly grab them. The champ releasing the hold, probably saw that contender had no intentions of tapping out, giving up. Oh, but a big drop kick turns things back in favor of the challenger. Big clothesline takes him out of the ring. So far, very back and forth contest. Every time one gets control, they press the advantage for as long as they possibly can, but all it takes is one big move for the other to turn things and essentially switch the tables completely. Mixing my metaphors here, but here we go. Oh, blind spot. Champ now busted open into the pin. 1, 2, only a 2 count. Only a 2 count, a huge blind spot finisher, but not enough to put the champ away. Could he be setting up for a second? No, going for a reverse DDT instead. And now setting up, could be for that second we were just on the lookout for. Could we get another blind spot? Has him by the back of the head, and a second blind spot. This could be it. 1, 2. Oh, 2.9, so close, and another kick out. Both of these men kicking out of everything the other one's got. Finishers, signatures, doesn't matter, they just will not stay down. Daredevil getting a little overconfident here, though, taunting when I think he should stay on his opponent. Doesn't come back to bite him quite yet, though, as he presses that momentum to his advantage. Handspring, and Daredevil's back to his feet with all the momentum in the world on his side. Locking in a sleeper hold here. Thus far, this might be, within the Vigilante division, one of the most competitive matches we've seen so far. I can't recall any match prior to this one where multiple finishers have been hit from both competitors, and yet both kicking out. Oh, but wait a minute, this could be the end. Could it be? Could the champ lose here? Fearless forearm! Levels the champ. Can he kick out this time, though? 1, 2, 3, and Daredevil has won the Vigilante Championship. An incredible, incredible match between these two. Well over 13 minutes. Just phenomenal from both these competitors. They put everything they had on the line. Multiple finishers from both. Not enough to put one another away over and over. 2 vantage points from the champion. The flying forearm off the top rope, as well as 2 blind spots from Daredevil. But in the end, it took those 2 blind spots, that flying forearm, and then a fearless forearm springboard off the ropes for him to finally put away the champion. You have to imagine the champion is not going to be done with this. Probably going to come back for a rematch. I don't think he's going to let it end this way. I would not be surprised if we see another classic out of these two. I would make that a match of the year candidate thus far. Granted, we've only had about a month's worth of competition, but still, I put it at the top of my list. Excellent work on both men's parts there, but congratulations to Matt Murdoch, our new Vigilante champion, as we press forth The Multimedia Championship is on the line. A man who has built a great deal of momentum towards this match. We've been speaking a lot about that tonight, about building momentum. Red Robin, Tim Drake, a member of the Teen Titans, will be accompanied by many of his fellow members. Beast Boy, Cyborg, Starfire said to be at ringside for this contest in support of their teammate. He goes into this match as the challenger for the championship, but perhaps the favorite. Normally you would go with the champion as the favorite. However, Miles Morales, aka Spider-Man over on Warzone, has not had a great go ever since winning the title. Many said that winning the title was a fluke based on the manner in which it happened. You can go back to the Flashpoint pay-per-view and see what we mean about that. Those and many involved in the match, not all, but many involved in the match, had their own misgivings about it, challenged him to singles competition. He lost every match he's been in since, really solidifying the doubts that people have about the champion as the world's finest tag team champions accompany the challenger to the ring. It's entirely possible that a very impressive Red Robin, Tim Drake, has been doing quite well for himself. Many competitors who should have had considerable advantages over the smaller cruiserweight, the high flyer, have not been able to knock him off, and now he's got a chance at gold. If he can walk away with the championship, all three male members of the Teen Titans roster will have titles around their waist, and you got to think that's a big plus if you're a faction in MFW. Obviously, we have a great deal of factions. We have quite a few: Justice League, Legion of Doom, just a few, and on Warzone alone, forget Fight Night. Please don't. I'm partial to Fight Night myself. But you get my point. As Miles Morales makes his way to the ring here, he is solo. Could that be a factor? The fact that he does not have any backup going into this matchup. No support system. He's really going it solo. But you can't put all of the blame for his defeats on those kinds of excuses. At the end of the day, Miles Morales just not really able to get the job done against his opponents since winning that title. Gotta wonder if the comments messed with his head, perhaps. Maybe started to believe the doubts that were placed, and that messed with his ability to get the job done. Regardless, he has one last chance to prove it, to prove himself a worthy champion by defeating Red Robin and defending that championship. Obviously, every championship that's on the line here tonight will be defended for the first time. So there's a lot of pressure on these inaugural champions, but there's no guarantees that any of them will walk out with their titles. It all comes down to, as we just saw with the Vigilante champion, who was undefeated up until now, sometimes it's just not enough. You see Beast Boy and Cyborg there at ringside could very much be factors in the outcome of this match. As Red Robin, Multimedia Champion, Spider-Man, Miles Morales meet head-to-head for the first time. For the title, I should specify. They have met in singles competition before. In fact, that was part of why Red Robin was given this opportunity, was he also won a match with the champion, along with a few other competitors, and then faced them in a multi-person match. Ended up becoming victorious and granted number one contendership status off of that. But all of the competitors in that match had beaten Miles Morales in singles competition before. So I should clarify that this is the first time they will meet for the championship. Miles Morales, quick and nimble, showing off that acrobatic nature, but at the same time he's facing someone who has just as much acrobatic expertise as he does. Could be a very even matchup for him. And if he's not careful, especially with the lack of momentum he's been building, the negative momentum, if you will, it could be very, very perilous for the champion in maintaining his title tonight. Quick Hurricane Rana and just strikes following up as Drake tries to take offense over the champ early. Miles Morales not having it. Back and forth, these two men trading the offense of the match, though. Now, dancing across the ropes, arm drag. You see Beast Boy and Cyborg out there on the opposite the hard cam side of our arena. Oh, and a swift kick to the face. And another into a standing shooting star. This is the kind of impressive offense that Tim Drake has been showing us for the past few episodes of Warzone. After his teammates won the tag titles, into a quick pin here, not enough to even get the 1 count. After they won the tag team titles, it was sort of his turn to step up. And we haven't seen them in tag team competition since, but we've seen a lot of Red Robin in singles competition. Spanish Fly from Miles Morales. Ooh, and a big series of slaps here. Miles Morales finally finding his footing and taking it to the challenger. Desperate to prove that he is not a fluke champion. When you're in a situation like that, you run the risk of making mistakes. He's a rookie hero, and despite Tim Drake's youth, he's got quite a bit of experience under his belt, perhaps more so than the champ. Oh, standing moonsault. And now suddenly lining up the champ. We've seen this before. Could be going for the round robin. No, reversed. Pushed off by the champion Miles Morales. But a reversal of his own. Red Robin with the Hurricane Rana. Quick reflexes from Morales to scout that round robin coming into play. Problem is he's not been able to capitalize on avoiding that move, as Tim Drake has been very quick to get right back on offense and keep attacking the champ. This is a very experienced strategy from the Boy Wonder. One of a few Boy Wonders we have on the rosters of both Warzone and Fight Night. Oh, and a stomp to the face. This could be a night for our red-clad challengers if he were to win again here tonight. Standing shooting star out of that moonsault attack. Excellent combination. Ooh, only a 2 count. Very close 2 count, though. Red Robin not giving a moment. We've seen a lot of people in those situations get frustrated, take their eyes off the ball, argue with the ref. Went right back to his opponent. Oh, could we see it? Round Robin off the ropes. Hit it. Into the pin. 1, 2, 3. And that is your new Multimedia Champion. Red Robin picks up the win. And those blue strapped belts all around the waist of the Teen Titans now, as Red Robin has just won the Multimedia Championship off a huge round robin to the champ right in the middle of the ring, or should I say former champ. Congratulations to Tim Drake. He will be walking out with the Multimedia Championship alongside the world's finest tag team champions, Beast Boy and Cyborg. The male roster of the Teen Titans now sporting all that gold around their waist. The only thing they do not have in their possession is the Multiversal Championship, and you gotta wonder if perhaps they might get a bit greedy and go right after that title. But for now, we focus on the present and these three holding some major championships in their possession. We've seen 2 titles change hand already. We're going to round the third match out here. Our third title match. And we're going to switch things over to the women's division. Sticking with Warzone on this one, the Multiversal Women's Championship. Now, we saw Captain Marvel suffer her first ever defeat to Jean Grey, aka the Phoenix, in singles competition on Warzone. They had a rematch. Jean Grey had the rest of the X-Men First Class roster in tow, which she did not have the first time. It's important to make that point, and you'll see why in a moment. and she lost the rematch. So both of these women have a major victory over the other. This is the rubber match. Now, Jean Grey not coming to the ring, as you'll see, with the rest of the X-Men on this occasion when the title is on the line. Why? Well, because she lost the one match where they were in her corner. She says she doesn't need them for this match. She's going to prove that she can do this on her own, and she doesn't want any distractions. And when she wins the title, she doesn't want anyone claiming it was because of outside interference. Now, many are speculating that she just thinks they're perhaps bad luck, or that they cost her that match in that second occasion. But that is all speculation. All we can know is what she tells us. Wants this to be an honorable one-on-one matchup. Captain Marvel has had no problem with that. She believes, now that she's beaten her once before, that she can do so again and retain the Multiversal Women's Championship. So in this rubber match, one of these two women will walk out with the Multiversal Women's title. The question is, will it be the challenger, Jean Grey, the Phoenix, the first woman ever and only to defeat Captain Marvel since her debut, or will Captain Marvel manage to pull out the victory over the challenger, the only woman to ever have defeated her before? Well, we're about to find out as we speak of it. Now making her way to the ring, current Multiversal Women's Champion Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel, looking to pick up a big defense here. Now, so far, as we've seen on our Bulletproof pay-per-view, all titles that have been put on the line have changed hands. Will she be the first to buck the trend, or will this continue to snowball downhill, and will all these champions find themselves out of possession of those championships around their waists? That's the nature of MFW, though. Even a dominant champion can lose that title if the right challenger in the right moment can take advantage and seize an opportunity. Once in a lifetime, yo. But we won't lose ourselves here at MFW. Segway as we get ready to ring that bell and bring our women's division into the forefront of our Bulletproof pay-per-view. Once again, thank you everyone for supporting. Always grateful for all the love and attention. If you got something you want to say, leave it in the comments. I will read it because that's who I am. I love reading what you guys have to say. As a fellow nerd, it makes me very happy. So keep it civil, keep it polite. Everybody who's watching this is a fellow nerd just like you. We all love it, so let's show some love. Remember to hit that like if you're enjoying what you're seeing. It means the world to me. Love when you guys show your support. And do not forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single episode as it comes out. Now let's get back to the action, ring that bell, and kick off this women's matchup. Oh, big clothesline to start. We're not starting with any chain wrestling here, just right into the impacts. Both women coming out, guns blazing. Ooh, and another big clothesline from the champ. So far, the defending champion seems to be in control, but it didn't last long. Jean Grey quickly retaliating. Big knee to the spine. Many have been speculating that Jean Grey may have Captain Marvel's number. And ooh, missing the big clothesline there is gonna cost Danvers. But as we were saying, especially after, oh, X-Men First Class, that backslide driver there, was involved in her only loss against the champ. Big spiral tap there from Phoenix. Into the quick pin. Only a 1 count. But as we were saying, speculating, many have speculated because of the fact that X-Men First Class was present for her loss in that second matchup, that she has the champ's number. And as she reverses, hangs her up on that second rope. Is that going to prove to be true? Thus far, Phoenix has since really taken control of this match. Elevated flatliner into the pin. Ref, come on. Wow. delay on the pin there. That could have easily been a 3 count. And I have to question the officiating on this particular matchup. Phoenix not letting it slow her down for a moment, though. Into the German. Looked like the back of the head might have caught those ropes on the way down. Very dangerous position to be in. And now Phoenix up top. Could we see it? I think we might. Phoenix splash. Got hung up on the legs on the ropes there, but now into the pin. And there's your 3 count. Jean Grey is your new Multiversal Women's Champion. And that's right, all 3 of the titles that are on the line in the first half of this Bulletproof pay-per-view have changed hands. That is unprecedented. Granted, there's not really a chance for any precedent to have been set before this. Regardless, this is a huge night so far for title changes. Will that continue to be the trend in the second half? Well, we'll have to find out when the second half is out. But for now, we still have one more match. This one, no titles on the line. This one is just a bit of a blood feud. There's a grudge that's been forming over the past couple episodes of Fight Night due to some unnecessary actions from one Magneto towards a big green monster we all know as the Hulk. After a match in which Magneto, who has been undefeated up until this point, had been defeating the likes of Apocalypse, Darkseid, was adding another giant, another monster to his list. However, did not go as planned. During the match on the outside of the ring, of course it didn't count because it was outside of the ring, Hulk forced Magneto to tap out to a Boston Crab on the floor. Match continued. Things were brought into the ring. Eventually, Magneto pulled out the win, but perhaps angered, humiliated, embarrassed by being forced to submit in front of everyone in that arena, Magneto snapped, took on a bloodied Hulk after the match was already over, slammed him into the steel steps, left him laying, and the following fight night, Magneto and the Hulk had it out in the middle of the ring. A bit of a verbal joust, only for the then at the time Professor Hulk eloquence to fall away as a more savage Hulk took hold and immediately headbutted the helmeted Magneto. The two brawled. Eventually things were broken up, but it was determined that things needed to be settled in the ring, and so director of Fight Night Nick Fury made this matchup. No disqualifications. Magneto versus the Hulk, 1-on-1. The Brotherhood will not be at ringside. Mystique, Juggernaut, Sabretooth will not be a factor. This will simply be Magneto versus the Hulk with no disqualifications. Who knows what will happen? We know the likes of Hulk. He could use anything in the arena like a weapon. Thankfully the power dampers are on, or else he might use the ring itself. But we also know he's just as satisfied with beating someone down with his bare hands. So it really could go either way. But this man, Magneto, wants to prove mutant supremacy, has been taking on the biggest challenges he can find to do so. As we mentioned, took on Darkseid, took on Apocalypse, beat them both. And now the Hulk has been in his sights. And perhaps there's something different about this one, and it boils down to the pride of Magneto being hurt. Obviously, Hulk has not had a great run thus far, has been attacked by Darkseid before he could qualify for an Omega level championship match. Thus or therefore, I was trying to say both at the same time. Therefore, was unable to participate in that match and qualify for the championship. Then had a falls count anywhere with Darkseid, was driven skull first into the floor. He's taken quite a bit of punishment, unable to pick up victories, and then to force Magneto to tap out, but for it not to be legal because he was outside the ring, must really be eating away at someone like the Hulk, who just believes in his heart of hearts that he is the strongest there is, period. And we heard from him in his in-ring speech before he was interrupted by Magneto, speaking to the fact that he believes he is the best in MFW, and he looks to prove it here tonight. Obviously, could really use this win, get himself back into the graces, into the winner's circle. Put himself perhaps back in the Omega level championship picture that he was forcibly removed from by Darkseid, whereas Magneto looking to pick up this win to solidify his claims that he's been backing up with his victories over the past few weeks. Now let's ring that bell as we kick off this match. Oh, and a big rib breaker to start. No rest holds, no taking it easy. Hulk stepping on the stomach there, just going straight for pain. That's what you come to expect with a no DQ match. Big left hand. And another. Rocking his fist against the jaw of Magneto twice. Magneto trying to fight back here. Big headbutt. Didn't see that coming from the normally more cerebral offense. Using his head in a very different way. Magneto now trying to keep pressing that offense. German suplex, impressive strength, able to lift that massive frame of the Hulk. Looks like he's digging under the ring here. He's got a baseball bat, but Hulk not letting him use it. That overhand blow. Oh, as he's dropped spine first into the mat from that military press position, and now raining down those big ham-sized fists into the face of Magneto. Now vice grip into that deltoid muscle, the trapezius. And another squeeze, that vice grip, continuing to weaken the upper body strength. Oh, wait a minute. Hulk, this could be a quick one. Hulk has been relentless on offense this whole match. Magneto's really got nothing out here. Big spear. That could be it. Count it. That's the 3. The Hulk picking up a dominant victory over Magneto. I'm not even sure that was 5 minutes. Congratulations to the Hulk. A huge win. Victorious over Magneto. Oh, but wait a minute. Magneto's sore loser apparently, but Hulk ready for it. Raining down blows and sending Magneto over the top. You don't have to go home, but you can get them out of here. Congratulations to Bruce Banner. Big win for the Hulk. And join us for part 2 of Bulletproof.